I'm Keith Olbermann, and this is The Resistance. We know Donald Trump Jr. confessed to at least trying to conspire with a Kremlin-linked lawyer 2 weeks into the presidential general election campaign in hopes of getting dirt on Hillary Clinton. But lost in the now standard maelstrom of our lives is the stunning reality that Donald Trump Sr. also all but confessed to trying to conspire with Vladimir Putin to clear the path by which the Russians can come back and attack our midterm elections next year and our presidential election in 2020. Mine are just interpretations, not legal opinions, but I'm right. And the intelligence services of this country, and probably the world, keep dropping quarters into the slot machine, one quarter at a time, hoping this quarter will be the one that produces the story that awakens the nation to the disloyalty and perfidy of the president and his mafia-like family, and which awakens his Republican enablers to the danger the Trump gang represents to their own re-election bids. The elder Trump's confession was so damaging he actually tried to walk it back. His actions are not those of anyone, let alone anyone in power, whose loyalty is to the United States of America. Indeed, his actions seem more like those of someone whose loyalty is to the Russian state. 7:50 a.m., July 9th. Putin and I discussed forming an impenetrable cyber security unit so that election hacking and many other negative things will be guarded. That is a confession to responding to the worst sneak attack against this country since 9/11 or even Pearl Harbor by discussing the possibility of sharing our cybersecurity operations, sharing our intelligence, sharing our defenses with our enemy after our enemy interfered with our elections last year in advance of the elections of 2018 and 2020. Trump's so-called Election Integrity Commission is still trying to get the same types of voter registration data from each state that the Russians were reportedly searching for when they hacked into those state computers last year. Put these stories together and you can see warnings that Trump may be planning to conspire with Russia about the next elections. Evidently, even Trump realized this. 8:45 p.m., July 9th. The fact that President Putin and I discussed a cybersecurity unit doesn't mean I think it can happen. It can't. We had never seen Donald Trump truly scared before. We have now. Scared enough to back away from an agreement that might have been treasonous. He may have been scared as much by his son's tone-deaf confession as by his own. Junior first denied ever meeting with any Russians during the campaign, then caught hosting a Kremlin-linked legal thug and Jared Kushner and Paul Manafort on June 9, 2016. He said it was a throwaway meeting about Americans adopting Russian children. Then something else came to light. Think of the intel guys and the slot machine. They have a lot of quarters. Something else happened, and Trump Jr. changed to a third story. I was asked to have a meeting with an individual who I was told might have information helpful to the campaign. This is a meeting he has denied having, a meeting he apparently has lied about for at least 5 months. So too Kushner. So too Manafort. The woman stated that she had information that individuals connected to Russia were funding the Democratic National Committee and supporting Ms. Clinton. Instead of throwing this individual out of the building, or as Nixon Attorney General John Mitchell said about Gordon Liddy during Watergate, out of the window, he and Kushner and Manafort met with her for 20 to 30 minutes. No details or supporting information was provided or even offered. It quickly became clear that she had no meaningful information. She then changed subjects. That was Junior's problem with the Kremlin-connected lawyer. Not that she was a foreign lawyer, reportedly trying to pass him and Kushner and Manafort and the Trump campaign damning information in hopes of nefariously influencing the outcome of an American election. His problem was that she wasn't passing him damning information in hopes of nefariously influencing the outcome of an American election. Or at least that's what he claims. And not incidentally, nobody is explaining 3 pieces of timing in this. Junior, Kushner, and the Russia-friendly Manafort meet with the Russian lawyer June 9. Manafort becomes Trump's new campaign manager June 20. An Associated Press story that places Trump Sr. in Trump Tower for nearly all the day the meeting took place. And the fact we have already noted here that on June 9 at 4:40 p.m., presumably after that meeting, Trump tweets for the first time about Hillary Clinton's 33,000 emails that you deleted. While Trump Sr. was at the G20 summit, again denying the incontrovertible fact that our intelligence agencies are confident they have firm evidence the Russians interfered with our elections last year, like meeting with Trump's son, Trump's son-in-law, and Trump's soon-to-be campaign manager in Trump Tower 13 months ago, while Trump was again reportedly accepting the meaningless denials from a murderous dictator and pledging to, quote, move forward in working constructively with Russia, while Trump was proposing or listening to Putin's proposal for this joint cybersecurity let the Russian fox guard the American henhouse deal, while Trump fiddled for Putin's pleasure, news broke that our nuclear power and energy-related computer networks were burned, hacked, and all initial evidence shows this was done by Russia. Again. And this darkest, most cynical, most disloyal, most evil action ever committed by any president or significant leader in our nation's history, this atrocity, Trump has somehow managed to escalate even this to something worse. Trump is literally, virtually simultaneously, accepting the claim that the Russians did not interfere with the election last year, while saying that President Obama was derelict in his duties for not punishing Russia for what Trump thinks Russia did not do. It is criminality escalated to madness. Trump has now done everything except to ask Vladimir Putin to clear him publicly. Sunday morning, Trump's first campaign manager, Mr. Lewandowski, said he knows that the Russians did not violate our election because Vladimir Putin says so. Trump, quoting Lewandowski, pressed him very tough to find out if Russia had anything to do with the outcome of the U.S. election, and from what Vladimir Putin has said, the answer is no. So now I think the issue is officially dead, like so many of Putin's opponents. And happily, after this cascade of criminally stupid confessions by two different men named Donald Trump, officially dead, like the long-term prospects for the survival of this presidency. Resist, remove, peace.